Hello, this is Vince from Sniper Day Trading, and I had promised I would do a continuation of the analysis of the Dow, S&P, and the Nasdaq markets. And here before you is a chart, a daily chart now. We looked at a monthly, we looked briefly at a weekly, and now we're on a daily. In yesterday's video, as well as in my blog, I had stated that the market was likely to pull up from where we were. We had somewhat of a reversal. Well, actually, we had gone up yesterday pretty good, and then we pulled all the way back down to the bottom end of the range, but that still was not that wasn't the finish of the move. Today we continued right back where we were and then some. We closing above yesterday's high, and I suspect that there's a little bit more in this. It's all going to depend on price action is going to dictate. Right now you can see this last peak here in the S&P. It's a rounded top. This was the peak before that, and if you know anything about technical analysis, this here could possibly be the right shoulder in a head and shoulders formation. We have lost momentum somewhat. The Dow is still holding support. The S&P has just slightly lost a little bit of that support, and the Nasdaq has broken its momentum. Although, that all being said, the markets can always do whatever they want to, and you can see here there's support coming in right here on the Dow. The S&P has broken that support. We looked at that a little closer yesterday in the weekly. You can see right there, that's the support it was holding. It broke that just a little bit, and then the Nasdaq has broken that support here already and is pulling back up. There's some overhead resistance here in the Nasdaq that goes back several years, back to the 2000 high, and it's going to take a little bit of work for all of these to get over this last pivot high. I mean, the S&P needs to get above there. I had mentioned that 1120 on the S&P was a 50% retracement of the whole move back from, what is it, a year and a half ago, or 2 years ago even. October, I believe it was, 2 years ago was the exact high, and we've been kind of coming down since then with this retracement rally back up. So this is the we need to get above this last pivot high, and not sure if all that's going to happen or not. We're doing what I thought we would do, at least for right now. One thing I noticed, the sentiment numbers are not that bad. There's not that much extreme bullishness here at the top as you would see in a top. So which kind of gives me a little indication that there may be, I don't know, there may be more room, or maybe we'll hang out up here until some of that people get a bit more bullish. But typically you'll see those numbers expand, and they're not quite there yet. We're currently, I believe, at around 48 or 47%. 55% would typically be a signal from where you'd have a market turn, but it doesn't always work that way exactly. But this is where we're at. This line here, support when broken becomes resistance. So the Nasdaq comes back up in here and trades up into this line, be hitting resistance. So that's what happens basically with this, or could happen. And then again, the S&P starts to form what's called what would be the right shoulder. It's maybe a little bit higher up in here, 70, 75, maybe even 80, equivalent to this high up here. And that's the high 80, yeah. So the next few days, maybe we top out and then pause, roll over. If we roll over and take out this low, take this low out, then I'd say it's most definitely the trend has changed, and we're more than likely will be on a downtrend back towards the middle of this rally's range. There's a lot of room to come back. You could see in the 9,850 area. Anyway,